yet. Who cares? I mean, people are broke. Okay, we'll begin the Planning Committee meeting of Akron City Council. Roll call, please.
Fusco.
Aye.
Kamer. Connor. Boyce.
Aye.
Hannah.
Aye.
All committee members are present.
Thank you. I'd like to accept the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? The ayes carry it. With that, we'll move into the old list of legislation. And the first item is, we had discussed this last week. It's referencing the amending and supplementing Title 15 Land Use, Chapter 154, Vacant Commercial and Industrial Buildings. I don't believe I need to read any further on this. And appreciate the presentation. This is referencing the VBR, correct, Mr. Greger?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. This is for the Vacant Commercial or Industrial Building Appeals Board.
Good. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Don't really have stay appeal. Look here. I don't think we have any questions or from anyone on cassettes. Okay, under B, 154.05, page 1, under B, it says here that written notice of the meeting of the board shall be given to the appellant and the citizen complainant, which is struck out. Wondering why that's struck out?
That was put into the original legislation. Vacant building registration was not part of the Housing Compliance Division at that time when it was originally brought forward.
Yeah.
So I was not part of the discussions as
Okay.
to why that was put in there.
Yeah.
I do know that in practice since then, we found that in this code, we don't get citizen complaints about vacant buildings. We mainly get our complaints about vacant buildings from city employees. And from council members have let us know, and from our own staff who are out in the field doing inspections, housing code inspections. They've noticed the vacant buildings. We also do a review of all the vacant buildings that are registered with us every year. So we go out and physically look at those. So there's never really a citizen complainant. Also, if we get a citizen complainant, we may be unable to find them at a later date, and/or we may get a number of complaints after that, and tracking down who those complaints are, we don't always require, we don't require them to provide us with information. A lot of our complaints come in anonymously. I apologize, that's a long-winded answer.
No, that's okay. I understand totally. The thing of it is that, and I believe the companion piece, the housing, also addresses that, the citizen complaint, and striking that out. I personally think it's a bit of a problem, to be honest with you. I understand where you're at and saying that we really don't get a whole lot of complaints from citizens. I want to push back a little bit on that, and I'd like some time on this, continued time. And the thing of what I'd like to do also, I see Mr. Lash is in the room. I would like to compare the complaints on the housing side as well as the VBR side, and then look at 311 and see how many calls that we've received on particular complaints, that you guys ought to be getting those. And like I said, on this one here, that's really the only question and concern that I have, is not notifying the complainant. And I understand that perhaps you don't get that many from citizens. I know we get a lot from probably citizens. And maybe what we need to do is a better job informing you in terms of exactly who that citizen is that's complaining about it, so that they can be notified of meetings and attend. I don't know if my colleagues have any other questions or comments about this.
Well, I do.
Mr. Kamer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Dwayne.
Appreciate it. But I just kind of want to clarify, like, the citizen part of it. Like, I just throw out 3 vacant buildings in my ward you're probably familiar with. And I don't know if they're all on the VBR, but we have one on Astor Avenue, South Main Street, 1431, and Hamel Street. And a lot of those complaints, they come into me as a council person, as you know. And I'm not aware if they do come into 311 or if they do call into the city offices. So I'm kind of like confused by like why we would get rid of the citizen complaint part in regards to that legislation, if you can help me understand that part a little bit better. Because, I mean, the citizens are complaining.
Okay, just for a point of clarification, so a majority of the complaints we receive for housing come from citizens, okay? That's not the same with the vacant buildings. The complaints we may get from citizens that come to you are funneled through you.
Right.
They don't come directly to us.
Well, so on that topic then, what I think we should do as a city is educate the citizens more, our residents, to come forward with those complaints. I mean, it would be great if, you know, let's say Hamel Street, for instance, I think you know what building I'm talking about, is I would love for those citizens to contact 311, encourage them, you know, if it's at our community meetings, ward meetings, or if it's on a city website or something. Let's try that at least, you know, before we strike out something. I mean, so that's just my take on it, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Tina Boyes.
Thank you. So just to build on that a little bit, I know I probably don't do it correctly. I oftentimes reach out directly to the department without entering it into 311 or submitting it to 311 via email. I mean, would that solve a lot of that problem? Is if I do that too, but oftentimes when I'm dealing, especially with you on housing stuff, I don't put 311 on the email. Would it make sense for us to do that? Like, it feels like maybe that's where we're dropping the ball maybe a little bit.
Yeah, one option here, if I could with my colleagues, I know our law department, I don't see anyone here, but I do see a lawyer or two in the chambers. I'm not adverse to taking that out. I don't know if it's located anywhere else within the ordinance, but leaving that in, that strike, if that's okay. And then perhaps we could pursue this further with you, Dwayne, and Mr. Lash, and try to figure out a better way for the communication piece, because many of these folks that call us, they're very passionate about these houses and buildings, even the commercial buildings. I know that there's one, as you know, on Johnston Street that we've had for years and years, and there's a group of folks that live near there who are very concerned about that. And so, and maybe I should have notified them whenever those VBR meetings had occurred, but if we could perhaps do that, get somebody from law, we could perhaps, maybe we could take temporary time on this piece and the housing piece, and then what we could do is pull the committee with a substitute later on. Sarah's nodding, so I must be saying this correctly. So if that's okay with the everybody here, I think it makes sense, but I think it needs to be top of agenda for the year to come, and see if we could do better all the way around, so citizens can be involved in this process. I think it'd be better. If there's any comments or questions, I see Linda Mobian's hand is up. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just trying to understand, are you just making a distinction between the commercial buildings and the residential facilities by taking this out? Is that the difference?
No, there's a good question. There's two pieces, but they're kind of companion pieces in a way, and they're increasing fees, et cetera, and fines, so on and so forth. But one is and the one that's on the planning agenda is for the vacant building registration program, and the one on the housing is the Housing Appeals Board and our whole housing thing. That's on our housing committee, which we have at 3:30, I believe, today, scheduled for 3:30. But they're kind of companion pieces. That's why we're kind of commingling them, which I apologize, I probably should have separated. But they kind of go together in a way. So, but what we're saying, Linda, is that I'm going to request from the committee temporary time on this, and then with the housing piece, I'll request temporary time during that meeting, and try to work with the law department in terms of getting it possibly passed this evening, but still include this part, which is basically eliminating the requirement for citizen complainant to be notified of these meetings.
I understand the point you're making, and I appreciate that. But I think he's indicating that when a citizen makes a complaint, and if they can't locate them, then they have no way of getting back to that person. Is that what I heard?
Dwayne?
Right, it might help me assuage your concerns a little bit if I get a little bit more detailed.
Sure, absolutely.
So this pertains only to the notifications of the board hearings. So in practice, what we do on a regular basis, particularly with the Housing Appeals Board meetings, is we place door hangers at every adjacent property owner's address, notifying them. In a majority of the cases of properties that are being recommended to go in front of the board, the person who complained about it initially has been following up with us regularly, and the impetus to get the property put before the board is from them. Mm-hmm. So in many cases, they've been in contact with us. We've told them this is going in front of the Housing Appeals Board. It's going to be this date. This has been part of the legislation. It's really going back through the case files, particularly some of our housing case files. It may be 10 years before a property even gets to a point where it's deteriorated to a point where it can go before the board, and the original citizen complainant is nowhere to be found. So,
Yeah. No, I understand totally what you're saying. But those people who, I'm just concerned that a VBR hearing and or Housing Appeals Board hearing, if it's not in the law, and I'm not saying our current boards, however, they can say, well, it's not part of the law, so we don't have to hear from a complainant or from a resident. And I think that's kind of like the foundation of a lot of what we do here. And so I don't know, I saw it, but I understand what you're saying. It's a lot of work to track and keep up.
and I don't want to speak for the law department, but I can say, from my standpoint, I'm not married to having this removed.
Okay.
If this is not removed and that particular sentence is left in the housing code, then we'll do it. I don't have an issue with that.
Good, thank you. Yeah, no, we understand. Thank you. Appreciate that comment, thank you. Mr. Lash?
Thank you, Councilman. The point I was going to make, you referenced the meeting later on. I was going to make a point on that, but I rest until then.
Okay.
All right.
What did he say? I don't understand the comment. Okay. Very good, thank you. Thank you, Dwayne. Further questions or comments? Is there a recommendation for temporary time? We'll see, maybe the law department, they don't like that idea. I can't answer. But all those in favor of temporary time on item number 1 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. Okay, very good. Thank you. Item number 2 is, this is the agreement, the agreements with Waste Management, or its designee for the acquisition and disposition of real property.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of council. So this is the legislation that would enable the city to be in the chain of title for the property on Archwood so that we could create a TIF district and then utilize the TIF funds for community improvement.
Very good. Any questions or comments from anyone? So we will be seeing the actual TIF legislation, correct? This is just the chain of title piece?
Yes.
Is that all this is, or is it more?
No, this is simply a transfer of land from Waste Management to the city back to Waste Management.
Okay.
We will have probably 2 other pieces of legislation, development agreement in the future, and then when it is actually, when the project's over, that's when we come and do TIF legislation. So we will be, I'm not sure what year that will be, but we will come 2 more times probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Wanted to clarify for everyone. Thank you. Questions or comments from anyone? Sharon Connor.
I just want to take a moment to thank the administration and Casey and the team for their meeting this morning so that we're all on the same page and we all understand what's going on. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Further questions or comments? Okay. Very good. Is there a recommendation for, is this the second reading, Sarah?
Yes, today is its second reading.
Suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, the ayes have it. With that, we'll take time on the balance short of any, number 4 was pulled, I understand. Is that correct, Sarah?
Yes, that's correct. Number 4 can be filed.
Okay. Okay, very good. Further questions from anyone? I believe we do have one piece or more.
We have 2 pieces on
Two
new
pieces in
legislation.
new legislation. Sarah Viviano, if you could please read the first item, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. The first item in Planning and Economic Development is item number 1. It's an ordinance authorizing the disposition of a portion of city-owned property, Summit County parcel number 6764538, to Gary L. Wyatt Sr. and Patricia A. Wyatt for future development, determining said property is not needed for public use and declaring an emergency.
Yes, sir.
So this is a parcel on Hickory related to that development for single-family development.
Very good. Same price as usual?
Usual price?
Yeah. Is there a rush on this? Is there?
Well,
Yeah, we're going to be off for a bit. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know if anyone else has any concern. You okay? If anyone else has any concerns?
there's been some hiccups in the development.
Yeah.
There's concern about getting the building permits.
Fair, fair. If there's no questions or comments, suspension of the rules is fine with me.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Again, the ayes have it. Item number 2A.
This is item number 1A. It's a resolution encouraging the city administration to identify alternative solutions for saving the clock and/or clock tower portion of the former Firestone Plant 1, located at 1200 Firestone Parkway, and declaring an emergency.
Okay. Thank you for reading that in. I am in support of this, obviously, of whatever can be retrieved safely and costly by the city of Akron in recognition of the historical significance and the passion of all those who had worked at this location for many, many years. And so I rise in support of this. Is there any other questions or comments? Okay. Okay. Yes.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Hanna.
Chair. I thought this was a done deal, and it's coming back up. Why did it come back up? I thought this was a done deal as far as the demolition of the Firestone Plant number 1, and it's come up again. So there is some hope that we can save that clock.
I believe that's the intent of this. We are encouraging the administration through all of their efforts, their best efforts, to retrieve pieces, parts, if you will, for lack of a better term, of it, at minimum, the clock itself. I don't know if Mr. Kamer has further comments, but that, I believe, is the intent. Mr. Kamer is really the primary sponsor of this.
No, thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Hanna, I appreciate your comments and would love your support on this, and hopefully you can add your name to this, because this is right smack dab right in South Akron, my friend, and where you and my mother grew up and went to high school together. So this is a very important building and important structure for the history of Akron and how we got here. So I'm hoping with this, the city administration will look at all possibilities of saving the clock tower portion of the building, or parts of the building, or seeing what we can do to move forward. So with that, I mean, if you have any questions or concerns, any colleagues, I appreciate it. I do have more to say about this building, but it will be this evening at the end of our city council meeting. But with that, I'm just asking for support, and I want to thank all my colleagues for the support well over 60 days ago to hopefully find a developer to come in and save the whole portion of the building. So that's it, and I'm asking for your support. And if you really stand at the foundation of this building and threw a rock, you would land in Ward 3. That rock would land in Ward 3. It also would land in Ward 9. It also would land in Ward 5. So this is a very important moment in our present time to preserve history. So thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Kamer. Further questions or comments? I'm going to go to Tina Boyce first and then back to John. Hannah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Councilman Camber is correct. I can actually see this building from my house. So with that being said, I'd like my name added to this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hannah?
Yes, thank you so much. I'd like my name to be added to this resolution also.
Further questions or comments from anyone? Is there a recommendation for suspension of the rules?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll report that out with favorable and with suspension of the rules. Thank you. With that, Planning Committee of Akron City Council is adjourned. Thank you.
Our next committee today will be the Parks and Recreation Committee. Those committee members are Connor, Lombardo, Bolden, Hannah, and Boyes. We do have all committee members present. We'll give everyone just a moment to get to their seats. Thank you. There's no legislation.
Right, that's what I was just going to.
No legislation, just a presentation on art.
Thanks for your patience. We're ready to begin the Parks and Recreation Committee. Again, those committee members are Connor, Lombardo, Bolden, Hannah, and boys. We do have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Today, we have no legislation coming before us, but we have a presentation from the Akron Public Arts Committee. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Volman, and he'll introduce our guest.
Sean, your microphone's not on.
Oh, it's not on?
Thank you.
Okay, because I'm good with tech. I'm going to hand my computer over to Summer to see if she's trying to pull something up right now as well. My involvement with the Public Arts Commission is pretty new. I started getting involved in the last few months. Very exciting to see what they've been doing, what they are doing, and the things that they plan to do in the future. A lot of that is due to the hard work of Summer Hall and the existing commissioners, the previous commissioners, today they have a presentation on things that have been done, things that are moving forward, and I'm going to turn it over to Summer.
Good afternoon, Council, Committee Chair Connor, and members of City Council. My name is Summer Hall, and I'm the Public Arts Liaison for the City of Akron. I am here today to introduce the first citywide interactive inventory that we actually just launched. The Public Art Inventory was created by RX Love, which we have Mac Love here today, with the leadership and funding of the Akron Public Arts Commission. We are joined today by Megan DeLong, who is Vice President of the Akron Public Arts Commission, and Roberta Rogers, who's a commissioner as well. RX Love led the development of this work, and I have provided you all with the inventory report booklet and also the maintenance plan that you should all have, or it could be in your mailbox. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Megan, would you like to start?
We're getting there. You're fine.
Hey, thank you, everybody. We are downloading this presentation. Sure, I've got it here. Do you want me to just go ahead and do it? Okay. So as was already said, my name is Mac Love. I'm the co-founder and chief catalyst, as well as the lead artist at Art by Love, a creative agency founded and based here in Akron since 2015. I'm here today to share the Akron Public Art Inventory with you, a project that has been several years in the making and that we believe will serve as a valuable tool to inspire civic pride, drive tourism, and inform new investment and support across Akron's neighborhoods and to uplift our cultural legacy through the next 200 years. You may have read about this project in the news this past year, so please forgive me if I repeat anything you already knew, but for the sake of context, I would like to provide a brief refresh before we dive into the inventory itself. In 2017 to 2018, Art by Love led a citywide interactive art project called At Play Akron that mapped every city street and engaged thousands of residents in creative participatory design projects that generated more than 100 murals and 50 placemaking transformations. It was through that project that we became aware of the abundant arts and cultural assets that stretch across our community, the need for public art maintenance, and opportunities for new investment. Shortly after the Akron Public Art Commission was formed in 2020, we submitted a proposal to map and evaluate Akron's public art. In 2023, an RFP was released, and in 2024, Art by Love was awarded the project with a budget of $48,500, funded by a private gift to the Akron Public Art Commission. Our objective was to map and assess the condition of every Akron public art asset that is city-owned, city-funded, or on city property. When this project began, Akron's public art inventory consisted of a PDF with approximately 40 items listed, 11 of which no longer exist or are not publicly accessible. Today, we are thrilled to share the new Akron Public Art Inventory, which is ready to go live on the Akron Public Art Commission website. In fact, I just made it live this past hour. This comprehensive and interactive database features more than 774 items that can be filtered, targeted, and searched across more than 40 million data points. To complement the release of this inventory, we have also provided the Akron Public Art Commission with the Public Art Inventory 2025 report, which I believe you've been provided with. This summarizes the project, our method of approach, key findings, and data and insights for each ward. We've also provided the Public Art Commission Maintenance Report for 2025, featuring all items that are damaged and others that were designated in poor condition that have been selected for your attention. This report highlights priority items for review and some opportunity items for your consideration. We've also provided the 2025 Akron Public Art Commission inventory spreadsheet for quick reference if you're more comfortable in Excel, and some tabs that are organized by ward. And then we've also refreshed the Akron Public Art Commission website with new imagery, simplified navigation, and the embedded interactive database with simplified filters for public access and a password-protected commissioner database with comprehensive filters with more granular exploration, which we'll be happy to provide you with access to. As 2025 draws to a close, it is vital to note that the work of the Akron Public Art Commission cannot succeed without the support and collaboration of the City of Akron and the Akron City Council. As we look to 2026, we envision a collaborative dynamic that provides key resources to support ongoing maintenance and new investment across Akron's arts and culture landscape. The Akron Public Art Inventory uniquely positions the City of Akron and the Akron Public Art Commission to apply for and secure funds to efficiently and effectively address outstanding maintenance priorities and opportunities to improve the quality of life for Akron residents, drive tourism, and return a windfall cultural and economic impact. It is easy to look at the number of items in the Akron Public Art Inventory and to see the scope of need as just untenable, or on the scale of maintenance as insurmountable. We choose to see it as a foundation and catalyst for Akron's revitalization. As Bertolt Brecht noted, art is not a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. We believe that now is the time to strive forward for Akron's past, present, and future. To meet this moment, we recommend the following. In the immediate short term, integrated review of public art maintenance priorities for 2026 and beyond, Akron GIS IT Department management of public art inventory data. In the short term, comprehensive fundraising and prioritize investment to facilitate public art maintenance needs and generate new investment across neglected areas. Also, the sharing of the Akron Public Art Inventory with residents to conduct ongoing research to fill key gaps. For example, titles of work, names of artists, dates installed. A lot of that information is actually missing from many of our public arts and cultural assets. And then in the midterm, to add signage to key public art and cultural items, and to develop an Akron Public Art Vision and Master Plan to leverage Akron's art and cultural assets as a tool to improve the quality of life of its residents while driving pride, economic growth, and prosperity across the city. Now, with that said, I'm going to see if I can share this with you, so everyone can see what the inventory looks like. Okay. Looks like I'm right here. Okay. Oh. 1 second. Oh. Okay, here we go. So this is, it's sharing the wrong app. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, thank you. Okay. So this is the refreshed Akron Public Art Commission website, and on it you will find, let me shrink this, the inventory up here in the top right corner. Okay, when you go to that page, you will see the embedded database that is right there. And there's something that I want to point out to you right off the bat when you go to it. You will notice that it highlights 50 items, 5 for each ward, okay? When you go to explore this database, it'll highlight what these 50 items are. But here's where this tool becomes really fun and really powerful, okay? On the right-hand side, there's a filter. It looks just like a little filter you might have in your kitchen. When you click on it, you'll see it's highlighted featured. When you turn that off, you'll have access to all 774 current items that are in the database. You can filter them by some that were Akron Public Art Commission projects, like the recent utility boxes. If you wanted to just go on a mural hunt, you could click on the mural icon, filter by different types of public art. Similarly, if you wanted to look at just a certain ward, let's see, that would be right over here in the Commissioner portal, which I will show you right now. So this is the portal that gives you access to absolutely everything. And here it is loading up right now. I also want to be respectful of time here. So if you wanted to just search by ward, you would deactivate the featured ones, unless you just wanted to look at the 5 that we picked for each ward. And let's say we want to start with Ward 1, which is one of our most abundant in terms of number of public art assets. You could filter through Ward 1. You could check out all of the artwork that is in excellent condition, filter that down. Where possible, we have all the information about the artists, the size of the pieces, the materials that were used. If you were to, rainbow spinning wheel. If you wanted to look at whether it was architecture or if you just wanted to look at vandalized artwork across the city, this is a clear tool that allows you to have access directly to those. One of the best means of using this moving forward is actually, I think, for efficiency for our city across all wards and leaders. We have murals that have similar types of deterioration where for a much smaller cost than repairing one, we could possibly repair 10. You can also identify things like repairing steps where there are actually needs in multiple wards. And so we look forward to continuing to grow and build this database to add more assets to it, including things that are not city-owned or city-funded. But for the time being, this shows artwork that falls, in many respects, under the realm of city responsibility. All right, Megan?
Nice. Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Megan DeLong-Borick. I am the very newly voted on vice chair of the Akron Public Art Commission. So I'm really just here to tell you a little bit more about us. And then Roberta is also going to assist me during this as much as possible. We just kind of gave this presentation to Leadership Akron, but the PowerPoint wasn't working, so I really just winged it. But I do want to know, has everyone looked over the maintenance report or either of the documents that Mac provided? Cool, awesome. So he provided those to us as a commission a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and I mean, they're really fantastic. This inventory, I cannot thank you enough for all the work that you did on it. It's super exciting to see both the really amazing art that is in great condition in the city, and then also with the maintenance report, seeing the ones that really need some work done on them. So yeah, thank you again for that. I am really appreciative.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how much you all know about the Akron Public Art Commission. I don't know if you were all on the same committee last year when our chair, Andy, gave this presentation. I am really just going to go quickly through it. Me and Roberta will kind of go back and forth. And then please feel free to interrupt us with any questions that you may have. Great. Also, thank you, Ms. Chair, for letting me come and speak. Okay. So like Mac actually said in his words, we were established in 2020 from the Akron Summit Cultural Plan. And you were an original member, right? No? Well, I'm lying. But he's been involved since day one. And so really what we are is a board that advises the city of Akron on any public art matters. So we might be coming to you in the next couple of weeks or months and asking about, hey, what are some of these pieces of art in the maintenance plan that we could talk about possibly maintaining, refurbishing, cleaning, whatever that looks like. We present an annual report to the city council and really the city in general. And then we also advise on artist selection, like Mac said, with our traffic signal boxes that we've been doing. We have a second call out right now and we're getting a lot of submissions. So yeah. Roberta, do you want to?
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Our purpose is the Akron Public Art Program is dedicated to celebrate the culture, vitality of the people of Akron and to promote economic visibility, vibrancy throughout Akron through the integration of highly qualified artwork in the public places. So we're putting together or asking for people to submit some beautiful artwork that we could put on display, not only adults, but also children, and especially artists in the Akron area. We're asking them to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the purpose or the outcome is to provide citizen-led oversight, allow for diverse and equitable process for artists, select in-city sponsored projects, and set standards and administration processes for creating a curation and maintenance. And maintenance, I think, will be a big part, because what we want to make sure is that the art stays beautiful for years and years to come.
I can take it. Awesome. We don't want to bore you by reading this whole thing. There's quite a few pages on this presentation, but yes, so if you've ever been to one of our meetings, we always meet on the second Wednesday of the month. You might have seen our process, you might have heard us talk about, like all these different decisions we have about maintenance. One of the things that I just want to talk about, we have a submittable, which I think is how a lot of things in the city get submitted. But this is specifically for like public land use and any of our traffic signal boxes or our murals or anything that's going on public land. We ask that people who are interested in, doing some sort of public art, please submit to our submittable. It's on our website. It's pretty easy to access. It asks a lot about budget and things that we need to know in order to approve or deny a request for public art. I will take us to this page. So as you can see, we have a pretty robust group of commissioners. Like Roberta said earlier, we truly try to be a citizen-led commission. All of these members, commissioners, are Akron members, citizens. We have an ex officio member in Councilwoman Sharon Connor, and then we also have all of us from the different wards around the city. So we have Andy, I'm going in order, John, Larissa, Eric, Sharon, like I mentioned, me, Jay or Jessica, Roberta, Kiara, and Kevin. Yeah, cool. Very good. And then we also have our head honcho, the liaison, the public art liaison. I don't know, Summer, if you want to say anything else right now before we move forward? No? Okay. She's like, no. I think, Roberta, do you want to talk about the traffic signal boxes a little bit?
Oh, yes, thank you. Because it's going to be fantastic. We started with the first round. We thought to ourselves, gee whiz, let's brighten up the city a little. A lot of people stop at stoplights and they're just stopped and they're looking around and there's like, well, what am I looking at? Nothing. So hopefully now we are starting to put in traffic box wraps with beautiful artwork from children and adults. And it's more oriented towards that area. I mean, North Hill, things that you would think about North Hill, or things that you would think about the Rolling Acres area or the Chapel Hill area. Things that are associated with like the Goodyear sign and just a lot of things. And then some are just decorations, something pretty to look at while you're waiting for that traffic light to change. It's a very good project. We have over 100 submissions right now for our second go-round. We only have 2 per ward, And we're looking forward to getting a lot more, because all I've heard is like real positive comments. People say, oh gosh, it's so pretty, or oh, I like that, or that's cute. And yeah, it really adds to the city.
I'd agree. Every time I go to a different part of the city, I'm always looking for traffic signal boxes. I'm like, what can we put art on? So I fully agree. So that's definitely something that we're working on. And we've been thinking about coming to different ward meetings and talking to your residents about, hey, how can we include you more in the decision-making process about what art and where it goes in your wards. So hear about that soon. Yeah. And then something that we're thinking about is a possible mural on the city center parking deck. Thinking about it. We'll talk more about that as we have more meetings. We've already had our meeting for December, but we're hoping to meet in January and talk a little bit more about that. We also want to do some community workshops, again, kind of like talking to those folks in the wards and actually like what do they want to see art-wise. And like we've been talking about, that maintenance plan, there are some pieces of art that literally just need to get wiped down, and like they have the dirty tag, and like all we need to do is like go in with some graffiti remover and they would be good to go. But then there's also some that are severely in need of some help that we will prioritize and, again, try to co-develop with each ward. So, yeah. In the future, if you guys ever need us, or if we need you, I guess, for, that co-development of those like workshops, or again, that maintenance plan, this is our contact information. The website, akronpublicart.com, is where you can both, submit for a public art thing. You can see the inventory, you can see who all we are. There's my personal email shared out to the world right in front of you, so if you need that, please let me know. And then also publicart@akronohio.gov, that'll get you to Summer, and she can answer a lot of the questions that you guys might have about either our commission or the website or the inventory. So yeah, I didn't put your email up there, but that's okay. Yeah, Roberta, is there anything else that I missed?
I just wanted to share, this is actually what I wrote for my application to try and be a part of the Public Art Commission. I said, hello, art is all around us. I enjoy being a part of the Akron Public Art Commission. I have a passion for art. I have years of experience as an arts and crafts specialist for the City of Akron Recreation and Parks Division. I was the Hardesty Park Art Expo Kids Tent Coordinator. I presented the first night at the Akron Art Museum. Being a longtime member of the Civic Theater's Women's Guild and now president of the group, I really appreciate art. And this is me, but this is everyone in our commission. We're all working together to make Akron, the city, a beautiful place to live. It's very exciting, especially when people come to us and say, oh, we want to decorate our sidewalk. We want to paint it. We want this wall to be painted. Can we do this? Because part of it's on city property or something. But even as you came up here and you saw the Mayor's Art Show for the Akron Public Schools and all the wonderful things that the kids are doing now and will continue to do in Akron, it's very exciting, and I'm just so pleased that we are helping Akron to become a beautiful place. Keep Akron beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, City Council members, as well as Megan, Mac, Roberta, Sean, and all the other commissioners, if you're watching or if you are present. We just want to say thank you for taking the time out to look over our art inventory. This is the first ever Akron art inventory. This is something that we should be proud of, and we should continue to take care of our community and our wards. And again, if anyone has any questions or you would like to participate in anything, public art at akronohio.gov is how you would reach someone in your feedback and your thoughts. Thank you again for your time. Do you have any questions for us?
Councilman Lombardo?
Yeah, thank you. So when you talk about maintenance of all the art pieces out there, like, who's doing that? Is it you five or four? Or is it, you have a certain group, or is it the City of Akron employees? Who does all the maintenance?
So that would be the next step. So Art X Love completed the maintenance plan from completing the art inventory. So there's 9 commissioners altogether. So they will, once they review the report, they will collaborate and see the top areas, top pieces of art that needs to be either removed, revitalized, cleaned up, whatever that may be. And then they will move forward on either hiring someone, maybe going out ourselves to try to keep costs down, or all things to make sure the art is cleaned up. And
thank you.
You're welcome. Mac, did you have a comment? I'm sorry.
I mean, I can add just for some context. There are a lot of cities in the country that have about our size that allocate a percentage of their funds annually towards public art maintenance, new public art investment, public art programming. The city of Toledo allocates 1% of its budget. It has a population of 270,000 and an annual budget of $500,000 for the arts, plus $6 million, which it secures through that, through county funds and state funding. To me, addressing this is it's kind of a 3-pronged attack. It's one, what can we do now with what we have? I think your neighborhood development grant dollars are a great way to address some of these very small, light lift needs, like cleaning and other things, in an equitable way. But I also think applying for grants to address some of these things on a larger scope project, particularly things of historic designation like the John Brown Monument or the steps in Goodyear Heights or Glendale Steps. These are really significant projects, but they have massive merit, both from a national arts perspective and a humanitarian perspective. And so I could see the city collaborating in that capacity. And then I guess, like, third and finally, it's just working with the Public Art Commission and residents themselves to also understand what their priorities are. I think you do a great job of, holding and serving those relationships. And I think sharing this data is a way to provide a bridge between that to figure out what steps we all want to take forward together. And then I just want to throw one other comment out, because I don't know if I get a chance to say it, but I just want to thank Summer. She's been on the Akron Public Art Commission for 5 years. She's been our main point of contact for all kinds of questions, and she's just been a tremendous point of contact, a resource, hosting all these meetings, making sure we don't overwhelm everybody with everything that we're doing. So I just, Summer, I really appreciate it. You've done so much work, not just for this project, but for others all across the city. And as all of you know, public art, it's a very interdisciplinary thing. It requires a lot of collaboration. And so I want to thank all of you for how you've helped us in those capacities, and also Summer for helping artists outside of those systems understand how best to navigate them as well.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Councilman Hanna?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Mr. Love. The last time I saw you, we were planting flowers together out in front of the municipal building. Thank you for that presentation. My question is that I'm looking at the utility box audit, and I think it's a great idea, and it adds a lot of color and pride in the neighborhoods and on the main streets. I was disheartened to see Ms. Hall. She did ask me to go out and look and see where they needed art on the boxes, and I was surprised that in Ward 5, that's all I know on council is Ward 5, and so I was disheartened to see that from Johnson Street all the way up to Waterloo Road, there was not one box in Ward 5. Why not? Why wasn't there? And who's our representative on that commission as far as the artists in Ward 5?
So I actually don't think right now we have a Ward 5 person. I used to live in Ward 5, and then I moved into Ward 10, literally like 5 blocks down the road. So I don't think right now, as we have 9 commissioners, we do not have a Ward 5 representative, I don't think.
No, correct. We do not have a Ward 5 representative. In Ward 5, there are 2 boxes that were previously done. Each ward has 2 boxes. So there was a total of 20 boxes done this previous summer when we did our traffic signal boxes. There is one located right by the Summit County Children's home, right before you cross
That's
over the
expressway.
bridge. Yes, so that's one, and trying to remember the second location, my apologies. Waterloo Road, is that 5 or is that? Talmadge, yes. Talmadge and Britton Road. There's another one there.
That's not Ward 5.
You're Talmadge and Britton, right where the Midway Plaza used to be? Okay.
Yeah.
There's another one. I'm sorry, I don't remember offhand exactly where that second one is, but I can get back to you and tell you where they are. But that's why I did reach out to City Council to ask, as well as I did last year when we were trying to figure out locations before, to see from your point of view where the best locations would be, because that's your ward, you're in that area. So you did provide me a few locations. We haven't gotten to that point yet. Where right now, we've just closed submission 2, and now we're going to be reviewing the art, and then we're going to review the locations. And I would like, all of your feedback. Me and Councilwoman Boyes just had a conversation about that, especially what wards and neighborhoods have branding to help reflect the art that we select. So I will find out the second location for you and get back to you.
Okay, thank you for that information, but Ward 8, Ms. Ward has a lot of art in that ward, starting from, I think it's Manchester Road, as you're coming into Ward 8. I think that's Manchester Road. That's not Manchester Road. I forgot the name of the street, but it's a bridge. When you come into Kenmore, you know that you're coming into Kenmore.
Kenmore Boulevard.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that you don't forget Ward 5, because we're there.
Yes.
And we would like our community to be included with the arts. Thank you so much.
And one thing, just to piggyback, may I? I'm sorry. That if you know me, you know I'm a fair person. And that's one thing that I prioritize myself with this commission, is to make sure every ward is represented. We have 9 members on the board, so we can't have all 10 wards. And it's also up to the people that, when we do the call for commissioners, that they apply. So we only get what we get, and we have to select from that base. Next year, 2026, there will be 2 seats up. So I will definitely, or Sean, will reach out to you to see if you have any recommendations for the wards that are missing people. But there are, again, in Ward 7, every single ward has 2 traffic signal boxes that the commission has played a part in. So there may be other areas that have more art, that may be true, but each ward has only 2 boxes that have been covered.
Councilwoman Boyes.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit. A lot of the public art in a lot of these communities are done by private individuals, so they're not all done on public property. That one is. I was the person who spearheaded that with money that we fundraised through an outside entity. So that's not the city doing that. That's outside organizations working to find their own money and implement it with ODOT, et cetera. So I think that's a little bit of the confusion, is that we have public art that's been done by this commission and appointed by this commission, but the vast majority of public art in Akron has been done by outside entities, not the city. So I just want to clarify, only because I'm intimately knowledgeable about that in the situation that you mentioned there. So, but I also want to thank Ms. Hall, because we did have a great conversation, and just wanted to remind folks that there are organizations in Akron that have been doing public art even before there was a public art commission. So we had a great conversation about how can we leverage the knowledge and the intimate, goings on of the neighborhoods at that level, and magnify the work that the public art group is doing. So, not just doing it separately, but doing it together in a way that we can all celebrate. So I'm excited to hear that, maybe Johnny's word is getting, Mr. Hanna's word is, Councilman Hanna's word's getting, if they get an organization that wants to spearhead public art in their community, that they could also be working with the Public Art Commission to make sure that the things that they want to see are also being implemented. So appreciate that.
I'm going to piggyback on that. It's absolutely true that there is the 2 traffic signal boxes, but I do know that there is some great organizations in Ward 5 that would be literally so ecstatic to have more public art on their buildings or like somewhere around. And I know with Morgan Park being in South Akron, Bridget and Akron Parks Collaborative have sent us a submission before about public art. So like if that's something that the Morgan Park team would be interested in, like getting public art around the park or in the park, that's another organization that would be interested is, again, Akron Parks Collaborative. They've done it before and they could definitely do it again. So, yeah.
Councilwoman Amobian, your question, please.
And thank you, Madam Chair. A couple questions. I think you answered the one about the funding because I heard the $48,000 and I was just wondering if that was just seed money. But this is a wonderful project and thank you so much for doing it. My first question is, and this could go to Mr. Bowman or to Summer Hall, is it possible to amend the charter of this commission to expand the number of representatives? Because I think when you get to making sure that the wards are covered and we have a limited number of slots, right away, it's not going to be possible. But if we can move from 9 to 11, I don't know how you do that or if that's possible. But at least it gives the opportunity to have representation from all 10 wards with the extra, because I know boards tend to want to have odd numbers so that you don't get caught in, the with the even number when you have a vote or something. But if that's possible, that certainly would kind of take care of that issue where you will have representation all the time from all 10 wards. And the other question I have, with regard to, I know that you said something about Toledo's budget has 1% of their budget. I know we don't have any extra funds anywhere. But when it comes to writing grants, would the grant be written by somebody that's part of the commission, or would you hire a grant writer to look for resources? Because I know that when I think about Sojourner Truth's project, and I've gone there several times, and it is so well visited that you can see some needs already, and it hasn't even been up 2 or 3 years yet. And you can see where there's going to be some need for some maintenance. So I was just curious about that. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
I can certainly get to the first point of the questions. I will look into the different foundational documents. I know there is a ordinance that was passed by this council. There was also the Summit County Cultural Plan. I don't know if one and or the other say 9. There's probably, I'm thinking there should be a, what's the word I'm looking for, bylaws of some sort that would dictate that as well. So I'll look at all of the different documents that, lean into this and we'll figure out something. But I'm assuming it can be changed. Yeah.
If I can speak to a second part, maybe regarding the funding, so Art by Love is a local for-profit organization. We believe in and want to see our arts and cultural landscape thrive in this city. There are a lot of funding mechanisms that we can't apply for. So I believe every other year, Bloomberg Philanthropies puts together a $100,000 asphalt art grant project that only cities can apply for. And a lot of that is because of the integrated nature of doing that work. And so I think part of it is a collaborative strategy where the city applies for public art grants, the Akron Public Art Commission applies for grants, and then maybe our local foundations and other arts organizations also collaborate and work together. But I will say, to the point that you were mentioning with Sojourner Truth too, it is a little difficult to sometimes address these maintenance needs without like a part-time or full-time person on city staff who's dedicated to working with those departments. That's how a lot of other cities make it work. And it's really important, particularly when things become damaged, that if a piece breaks or falls off, it's not lost, so that it can easily be restored and added to. I think of like the Welcome to Akron sign that was in North Akron as you come into Cuyahoga Falls. The blimp fell off, I believe, a couple years ago. And luckily that was found and restored. So just something to consider in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? With that, we'd like to thank everyone for coming. Thank you so much for the maintenance report. I think all of us will be able to do our part to help get the pieces in our ward looking a little sharper. And with that, may I have a motion to adjourn? Or we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next committee today will be the Rules Committee. Those committee members are McKittrick, Fusco, Amobian, Connor, and Davis. Again, that's the Rules Committee, and we'll begin in just a few moments. Thank you. Okay, thanks for your patience. We are ready to begin the Rules Committee meeting. If those that are discussing, could you please take this outside of chambers?
We're starting another meeting.
Again, those committee members are McKittrick, Fusco, Amobian, Connor, and Davis. We do have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Clerk Viviano. I'd like to call the Rules Committee to order. We have previous meeting minutes to approve. If I can get a motion in a second. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Okay. We have some pieces that come before us. I think number 4 was withdrawn. Is that correct? Or not as of yet?
I don't believe it has been officially
Okay.
yet.
Not as of yet. Number 4 has not been withdrawn as yet? No. Okay. All right, no, that's okay. We have 5 pieces on the regular agenda. The first piece is resolution amending resolution number 373-2023 to implement, supplement, or amend Rule 2.5 of the Rules of Procedure for Akron City Council declaring an emergency. I'd like to yield to the presenter, and we'll see what the committee has to say.
Thank you. I don't have any more to present. I think we covered it pretty well, unless
Okay.
other folks had any questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions, comments from any committee members? Any other council members? Oh, Councilman Fusco.
Just a quick question. I understand that you may want some action on this today or next year. What's the timing?
Our organizational meeting will take place in January, so my hope was that we were able to discuss and get through and, feel the sentiment of the whole council before the end of the year, if possible.
Thanks.
Any other council members or committee members? Do we have any suggestions from the committee?
I'll make a request for an adverse report.
We have a motion for adverse report. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second for an adverse report. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed?
Aye.
Could I do a roll call vote on that,
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Chair? Thank you. Again, the motion was for an adverse report. McKittrick,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Amobian,
Nay.
Connor, and Davis.
Aye.
The motion for an adverse report passes 4-1.
Okay. The next piece to come before us is a resolution amending resolution number 373-2023 to implement, supplement, and/or amend Rule 3.3 of the Rules of Procedure for Akron City Council and declaring an emergency. Does the submitter have any comments on this one?
No additional comments. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments or questions from committee members or council members on this number 2 piece?
Adverse report.
Not seeing any. Is there a motion?
Adverse report.
Okay, we have a motion for an adverse report. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second for an adverse report on number 2. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Roll
I
call,
oppose.
please, clerk.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Fusco, Amobian,
Nay.
Connor, and Davis.
Aye.
The motion for an adverse report passes 4-1.
All righty. And we have number 3 is a resolution amending resolution number 373-2023 to implement, supplement, and/or amend Rule 3.4 of the Rules of Procedure for Akron City Council and declaring an emergency. Again, any comments on number 3, sir?
No additional comments from me. Happy to take any questions. Thank you.
All right. Are there any comments, questions by any committee members or council members? Seeing none, is there a motion? Have a motion for an adverse report for number 3. Is there a second? Second. And we have a motion and a second for an adverse report on number 3. All in favor of an adverse reports, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Fusco, Amobian,
Nay.
Connor, and Davis.
Aye.
The motion for an adverse report passes 4-1.
Thank you. Number 4 on the regular agenda is a resolution amending resolution number 373-2023 to implement, supplement, and/or amend Rule 5.3 of the Rules of Procedure for Akron City Council and declaring an emergency. You are the presenter. Would you have any comment on this?
Yes, I'd like to withdraw this at this time. The state of Ohio is reviewing this, and I've spoken to our law department and many others. I do intend on revisiting this in '26. It seems as though our chambers has become a place for intimidation, bullying, comments that are, out of line, out of, in today's standards, we request folks to be respectful of one another, to treat each other with respect, and to try to be kind to one another. And unfortunately, I think to a large extent we have. I think there's a number of factors that have been involved with this. And I'm hoping that one day we'll be able to get back to where we were in terms of just treating each other with respect, having a civil discourse between one another, and I'm hoping for that. I don't know if this is the proper ordinance at this time for this, but I'm going to be pursuing and hoping that we can put in place laws or restrictions, if you're not even restrictions, I don't want to go that far, but put something in place that that people from all over Akron will feel welcome in our chambers. They don't anymore. People from all over Akron they read what they someone's interpretation in terms of what goes on. They've seen on the news what has gone on here, I think, well, I know in terms of speaking to many folks out there, a lot of our constituents, they just don't feel safe coming down, so they don't come down. And many folks they don't even want to appear on the Zoom meetings because of intimidation, because and I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. I'm really not begging blame anywhere, just saying that we need to be kinder to one another, that we need to be more respectful. We need to be more welcoming. And I'm hoping and praying that we're gonna get there. But unfortunately, in this day and age, we've lost a lot of that. We need to get back to it. We need to find ways in order to work with one another better, in order to not be so aggressive in terms of some of the folks that come down here. And I understand that there's a lot they carry a lot with them. They carry a lot. And we try to be empathetic to that. But then again, on many, many levels, our hands are tied. Many levels. And again, the state of Ohio is reviewing this. I know that from talking to my colleagues, I think they share some of these sentiments, and so hoping that in '26 that this chamber will be a safe place for residents from Akron to come down and speak. With that, though, Mr. Chair, thank you for the time, and I do respectfully request this be withdrawn from from the agenda, and that I will be working on something for '26 with regards to, again, the goal of making this a safer place for Akron residents. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. This has been a request for withdrawal of this piece. Councilwoman Amobian, do you have some comment?
Yes, I'm glad Mr. Fusco addressed the impetus behind this. I certainly share your comments, but part of the concern that I have is that we restricted people to every 30 days. There's a time limit for people to speak, 3 minutes. Outside of those kinds of things, I'm not really sure what else you can do to control what people say. And I recognize that there are times when people, make all kinds of unnecessary comments and call us out and all those kinds of things, because they've called me out and I just sit there and take it. I think it goes with part of the job that we've taken on, to listen to our citizens, voice their concerns. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the point where you can just tell people that you cannot say things that are negative. Hopefully, we'll get to the point where people be civil and respectful and realize that these are not easy jobs that we've taken on. But I wasn't really sure why you brought this piece in, because it seemed to me that by taking the public out and just kind of expressing, taxpayers and utility payers and all those kind of things, I wasn't sure where you were going with that. But again, I hear you, and I certainly don't appreciate folks making derogatory statements toward me either. But I just don't know if we're going to ever be able to control what individuals say and how they feel about what we do down here sometimes. And I think maybe what we're hearing is their reactions to how we conduct our own business. And perhaps we could have that kind of conversation at one of our retreats or something about what can we do differently? What can we do on our part? Because we can only control what we do. I don't think we can control what people actually come down and say to us. But again, I appreciate the comments, and I now understand why you brought it forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Clerk Viviano, since request has been for withdrawal, there's no further action needed then?
That's correct.
Okay.
Councilman Fusco has his hand raised, though, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Pardon me? Oh, Councilman Fusco, sorry.
Thank you. Certainly respect everyone's right to comment and to criticize. I believe I'm among some of those that get the lion's share of that, and I don't mind that. We sign up for this; our families don't, and oftentimes we see. We'll play that one where it lies, but no, it's not so much that, and trying to listen and hear different things is okay. But what we've seen here is intimidation and bullying, period. That's why I brought it in to start the discussion. To start the discussion, we have to discuss this as a city, as a community, as a council, because it has. People are afraid to come down here. This is the citizens' chambers. This is the citizens' city hall. And whenever we have people constantly trying to intimidate folks, people don't come down. They don't come down. And we don't hear from them, again, because of the intimidation. Because of the bullying that happens here, we've got to figure out a better way to do business. And I'm not saying it's, I'll take responsibility just as much as the next person as a council representative. But the issue is, I think it's above and beyond. There's so many things that we're told that we should be doing that we have no control over. But we're the easy ones. It's easy for people to come down, okay, once every 30 days, what have you. But the federal level, the state level, they have liberalized even more gun carrying in the state of Ohio. And the guns, it's our fault all the time. We are the ones that, it's our fault that this happens. I believe this council, I believe the city, we have done all we can and more, and we need to do more. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, and evaluate the way we do business and find better ways to communicate with the public. But every ward council person has a ward meeting every week, every month. But then again, it's become acceptable for people to come down here and just bully people that come down here, and let alone elected folks, and try to bully people out. I've been told people have been followed to their car. They have been followed to their car. That's intimidation. That's wrong. Our city deserves better. And if we have to change, so be it. But we have to do something. We have to be more empathetic toward one another. We have to, I don't know, but I'm hoping, again, and I've been praying, and I'm going to continue to pray that we do better in 26 so that people feel welcome in our city hall, in our chambers. That's why I brought this in, was to start the conversation, and I hope we continue it, because I'm just beginning. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. Okay, we will be moving on to piece number 5, which is a resolution amending resolution number 373-2023 to implement, supplement, and/or amend rules 1.4, 2.3, 2.12, 3.1, 3.7, 4.8, 4.16, 5.4, 5.9, 6.10, 6.5, 7.3, 7.7, 7.8, 8.1, 8.3, and 9.3 of the Rules of Procedure for Akron City Council and declaring an emergency. Are there any comments or questions from any committee members reference this piece number 5? Seeing none. Are there any comments or questions from any other council members? Council Representative Wilson.
Hi, thank you, Chair. I did pass out the little slip of paper with a possible light change to the addition of Rule 8.3. I just wanted to, if anybody had a moment to look that over. That regards the city council, the use of the city council logo. And what I was suggesting is adding a bullet point about making sure that any individual member of council could use the logo for official business. And then under the second section, be able to issue statements or press releases or et cetera with items of individual members' personal opinions, and explicitly state that opinions or views expressed by that member are solely the views of that member and not the majority of council. That kind of mirrors our social media policy, so just wanted to bring that up. I don't know if anybody had a chance to review or whether that amendment could be made or if anybody's interested in making that, but wanted to put that forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from any committee or council members? Okay. This is a third reading on this. What does the committee have any input on they'd like to do with this? Favorable report. Okay, we have a motion for a favorable report on number 5. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second for a favorable report. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Fusco, Amobian,
Nay.
Connor, Davis.
Aye.
The motion passes 4-1.
Okay. Thanks. We have nothing further to come before rules. We will be adjourned.
Our next committee today will be the Public Service Committee. Those committee members are Kamer, McKittrick, Wilson, Bolden, and Lombardo. We do have all members present. We'll get started in just a moment here. Thank you. Okay, we are ready to begin the Public Service Committee. Again, those committee members are Kamer, McKittrick, Wilson, Bolden, and Lombardo. We have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'd like to move forward and call the public service meeting to order. All members are present, and we do have minutes to approve. If I can get those approved, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. We do have 4 new pieces in front of us today. And our first piece is a resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain termini 2026 ulterior collector resurfacing program by resurfacing such streets with asphaltic concrete 402, 404, and declare an emergency. And we do have our service director, Chris Luttle, with us. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of committee. Yes, this piece of legislation is for our 2026 resurfacing. As in the past, we have 3 different pieces when it comes to our resurfacing program. This first one is arterial collector. This legislation before you will start. We call it the resolution of necessity. So this allows the assessor's office and finance to start the process. They will notify the affected property owners. They will It takes about 2 months, really. So what we like to get started on this so we can bid and award over the winter, and then we will bring other pieces of legislation before you, the notice to proceed. So what this does, and you're very familiar with this, sir, is how we send the property owner an estimate of what that resurfacing could be. So this first piece, let's just talk about residential. For arterial collector, it's a little bit lower rate. For a residential property owner, it's $4.50 per front foot. So if you take that, if it's 50 foot, it's $225. Well, what happens is we will resurface their road in 2026. There's a year warranty, so in 2027, once we get the final bill, we will send them a final bill. They will then either have two choices: one, to pay that at that time in 2027, or they can place that on their property taxes, and the property taxes are spread out over 5 years. So the next one is the residential. It's a little different rate, and then the last one's unapproved. That's a little bit different rate, and we could talk about that individually. But one thing, as always, these rates have not changed since '09. It's been the same assessment rate. Obviously, asphalt, labor, equipment have gone up exponentially, but we've held this rate since then. And also, another point of clarification is a property owner, especially the elderly, well, they have to be elderly to be on homestead. There is no assessment for them. If you're on homestead, we go by the county, then you will not even be sent an estimate because you are not charged. I shouldn't say elderly, because in 6 months I'll be an elderly person, but I won't qualify for homestead. But that's kind of a long explanation on this one. Like I said, there'll be future pieces of legislation for the resurfacing program.
All right, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Any questions or comments for Mr. Luddle? Okay, I do have one. Do we have a contractor picked out for the
We haven't
resurfacing?
bid it yet, sir.
Okay.
So we're looking at the budget right now. There's probably a few more properties than the amount lauded, so we don't ever know until we get the bid prices how much we can include, so we do our best guess. But we are thinking this year of doing 2 programs. So let's say there's $5 million, we will do 2 programs of 2,500 or 2.5 each, and then we will probably, I don't know if we'll do the lower half of the city or the upper half, but obviously by keeping those streets or those wards in close proximity to each other, it limits mobilization, which gives us a better price. So that's what we're thinking this year. Instead of doing 1 large program, doing 2, about 50% of the large program.
Okay, thank you. And when the contractor eventually, when they do win the bid through that process, they don't go out and advertise on the streets who they are or anything, do they?
Typically not. Okay. Typically not. When their equipment shows up, when they put the sign, those are actually our signs. They're not their signs. They typically don't advertise, no.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha, thanks. Well, committee, this is our last meeting of the year, and I'd appreciate it if we could try to suspend the rules.
Motion for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
Second.
All in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. Moving on to the next piece, resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain termini, 2026 residential resurfacing program by resurfacing such streets with asphaltic concrete 402, 404, and declare an emergency. And Chris kind of hit on it already, but I'll still give him the opportunity to present.
This is just the residential portion, so this is just the different street segments, okay? The first one was arterial collector, like the street out here on High, but the next one is just a residential. So it goes by the rating of the street and the traffic patterns and that type of thing, so it's residential.
All right, thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments? All right, committee, once again, I would like suspension of the rules if possible.
Make a favorable motion, suspension of the rules.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor of suspension of rules, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. Moving on to our next piece, resolution declaring it necessary to improve certain streets between certain Term 9, 2026 unimproved street resurfacing program by treating the surface thereof with substances designed to preserve the surface and declaring an emergency. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, members of the committee, it's the same explanation. It's just the unimproved streets. And unimproved streets obviously are no curb and no storm sewer, so there's no edge line. So the rate is a little bit different because that roads typically, they have to build them up. They have to use more asphalt on the edges because it doesn't have, like I said, the drainage, so they deteriorate a little bit quicker.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Any questions or comments? Councilman Bolden.
Mr. Ludlow, I'm looking at the list of streets. Would Ridgewood be on this? Should be on this?
It should
Or would
be.
that be
Well,
is
it
that
may
more
not be
reflective?
in this, sir, because it was on from last year.
Okay.
And this is just the assessment portion.
Okay.
So when you get the full list.
I just wanted to
of
make sure.
Streets, yes, Ridgewood will be in
Okay,
there.
great,
Correct.
thank
So that's a good point, sir. If you look at the list, there's some lists you think, I thought that was going to be resurfaced last year, and we may have carried it over because of utility conflict or other conflicts, gas or water and sewer. Those will be, when you get the next piece of legislation, you'll see the complete list of streets. But this is just for the assessment portion.
Okay, got you. Thanks. Thanks, Councilman. With that, can I get suspension of the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules with a favorable report.
Second.
All in favor of suspension of rules, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. Moving on to, let me make sure. Yep.
Aye.
Final piece is resolution declaring it necessary to improve Vernon Oldham Boulevard, State Route 261 between the termini of I-77 to Rhodes Avenue and Roaming Road to Medina Line Road by resurfacing and declaring an emergency. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This is an LPA, a local participation project with ODOT. They're performing work in the city. We had a piece of legislation previously authorizing them to work in the city. So this is about 8 miles of resurfacing they're going to do, but only 3 in the city of Akron. So the 3 are the Rhodes Avenue to 77, as it's stated, and then you have that little piece going up the hill to it turns, you know, just almost, not quite to Amazon where 261 starts, and this resurfacing goes all the way out to Norton. This legislation is just for the portion in Akron, for the assessment portion. So on these LPAs, we do always have a local match, and part of that local match is the assessment process for this project.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. Any questions or comments? No contractor picked out yet, obviously?
This is by them, so they are going to be bidding this, and it'll start in March. So they haven't even bid this yet, no.
All right.
ODOT has not.
All right, thank you. With that same thing, this is our last meeting. Can I get a favorable report?
Motion for suspension of the rules, favorable report.
Second.
All in favor of suspension of rules, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thank you. We do have one more thing come before us before we adjourn. Councilman McKittrick.
Thank you, Chair. I just have a couple questions. First, you were mentioning about the homestead exemption.
Yes.
Why is there a reason that it isn't applicable on concrete streets as opposed to the asphaltic streets?
You know what, let me get you an answer on that one.
I'm sorry?
I'll get you an answer on
Okay,
that one,
okay.
why we do not.
Thank you.
Yep.
And can you give us just a brief overview of how plowing went over the weekend?
You know, with the temperatures and we did okay, but obviously we go by best forecasts. We probably could have used a few more staff members yesterday, especially afternoon. The lake effect kind of sat over us and just kept dumping and dumping and dumping till about 8 o'clock. But all in all, you know, we worked around the clock. But like I said, we had 31 trucks in yesterday all day. And with the forecast it looked like, so we started calling around noon. Kind of difficult to get any more people in last night, especially probably being only 9 degrees. But we were fully staffed at 4 a.m. and we were out there hitting it. And I think things are looking up. But then again, we got another little shot this afternoon. So we pulled out of secondaries, went back into primaries. It's just the way it is. So we're looking forward to, we're hoping the forecast is going to hold out. Councilman Boyd's not here, but we pulled out of leaves again. We weren't going to do that because we were only supposed to get 1 to 3. Then we put them back in. We pulled them back out of leaves and put them back in. So no leaves today, no leaves tomorrow. We are going to start back on Wednesday in leaves. We hope to be done in Ward 9 on Saturday. And then starting Monday, we'll be in Ward 3 for a couple days. And then we have the holiday coming. So we're going to go from 3 to 5 to 10 and then 6. And then we have a number of service requests because I think in 7 was next where we didn't get them all and then the snow came. So tell your residents if you're not in those first 4 wards we're going back, put in a 311 request, put those leaves on your lawn strip, and we will come get them. You don't have to bag them, you don't have to do anything. Put them out there, we're going to get them. There again, we're hoping for decent weather through the new year, and we'll get them all up. Street cleaning is still on their, what we call summer shifts. Highway and parks are on their winter shifts. We're looking to change shifts January 4th, but if we still have a lot of leaves out there, we will delay that another week. So that will help too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Continue on snow real quick. Thank you for bringing that up. I do have 2 questions. Actually, I was seeing this yesterday and someone reached out to me. Do we still do the snow tracker or is that like down or what's going on with that?
We still do it, but they, I think they were supervisor short yesterday. We'll make sure that they keep that updated.
That's where the folks can get online.
They can get online and see where we've been, but if they're not into secondaries, then you're not going to see much difference. You're going to see them staying in the primaries. Okay. So you'll show the last time they went through primary route, then they go right back through. So if we're staying in primaries, there's not a lot of change to the snow tracker.
Okay, gotcha. And then my second question was, a few years ago, I know we allocated funding and okayed for a truck to be in each ward. How's that?
We have 10 one-tons allocated each ward, and there again, if it wasn't 1 to 3, we would have scheduled more staff and we would have had more staff in there. So we did get some other auxiliary employees that have CDLs, did come in and help us yesterday, and those would have been the ones in each ward, but we had to put those into the larger trucks. So we had a few people from upstairs in this building that have CDLs. We had a couple other departments come and help us. We had some engineering staff that have CDLs came in and help us, and we actually had a couple supervisors in yesterday. But there again, if we would have been fully staffed, we would have had one of those trucks in each ward.
Okay. No, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Anything else come before us? Okay, with that, thank you for those comments and spending time with us. We are adjourned.
Okay, we can move right into the Public Safety Committee meeting. Those committee members are McKittrick, Kamer, Lombardo, Hannah, and Davis. We do have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Clerk Beviano. I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee to order. If I could get a motion to approve our previous minutes.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We have a couple pieces that come before us today. The first piece was read in last week, ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a contract or contracts with Akron Community Development Association, doing business as Minority Behavioral Health Group for implementation of Akron Hospital-Linked Violence Intervention Program pilot and declaring an emergency. I know we wanted to take some time on this last week. Some people had some questions, so not sure if any of the committee members or other council members have any questions pertaining to this piece. Okay. Thank you. Not sure if you have anything else you'd like to present in regard to this, but I think we are ready to vote on this. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to keep it open for you guys if you had any follow-up questions. I know we spoke briefly last week about the synergy between this initiative and the Akron Street Team, both of these programs being housed at Minority Behavioral Health, which are complementary programs that fit into our overall strategy that is to create an ecosystem to prevent and intervene in violence in the community.
Okay, very good. I'm not seeing any other, oh, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Amobian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, I just want to say that this appears to be an extension of what we've been trying to do. I love the idea of going into the hospitals and meeting people when they're in crisis and trying to give them resources, because a lot of times when you're in the hospital, you don't stay an extended period of time. So I love the expansion of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'm not seeing any other questions or comments. This is only the second reading, so if we could get a motion for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
I'll make that motion to suspend the rules with a favorable report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for suspension of the rules with a favorable report. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll get that before council tonight. Thank you so much for coming back in today.
Thank you very much.
All right. We have a new piece. The new piece coming before us today is an ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee. No, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, you got it.
That's
There
it.
it was. Thank you.
That was
Yeah, I was on the wrong one. Authorizing the mayor as designee to enter into a contract or contracts without the formality of publicly advertising for bids for a crash data retrieval system and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Yes.
Members of the committee. We're looking at purchase a crash data retrieval system by Crash Data Group. It's looking at approximately $58,000 and annual fee of $1,500 for yearly licensing. I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Carson, who will be using this to explain exactly what it is.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Carson with the Crash Reconstruction Team. Basically, this kit is it's software, hardware, and cables that ultimately are used to download the black boxes of cars. It gives us important information 5 seconds prior to the point of a crash, which includes speed, the RPMs, braking, airbag deployment, seatbelt use, rotation, if people were seated in the cars and where they were, headlight use, steering input, things of that nature. What this does is this helps our investigation with the math that we're able to do, but also confirms and allows us to ensure that our investigations are fair and impartial. The kits themselves are like these all come in vehicles from basically 2005 on. So this year alone, we've had 41 fatal crashes or serious injury crashes here in the city of Akron, and we are able to use other agencies. Unfortunately, it doesn't really coincide with being able to do it in a timely fashion. Aside from that, yeah, we're just asking to get this kit.
So is this, my question would be in regard to this, this isn't just software, this is actually a device that would
Yes.
be, okay.
Yeah, and part of the reason why the price is what it is because the cables for each manufacturer are proprietary. So just as a for instance, Tesla's kits, Tesla's cables are different from Hyundai's cables, which are different from Chevy and things like that. So in this whole kit, it's essentially there's the downware data or I'm sorry, the downloader hardware and software, but there's also the kits that, or the cables that allow us to connect to all the black boxes. And what that does is like I said, any event that it registers within 5 seconds, it records that data and allows us to draw from that. I have an example of a download if somebody would like to look at it, just to see what the information is that it provides. This is from an adjudicated case from 2024 that we have.
Thank you. No, it sounds like a great tool to really be able to gather information quickly and accurately to assist in these investigations.
Yes.
So I'm surprised we don't already have one, but yeah. Do you have a question? Councilman Kamer.
So, thank you, Mr. Chair, I appreciate it. Sergeant, I'm trying to rack my brain because I was public safety chair for a long time. Is this the first time that this has come to city council? Is this the first time we've getting this kit?
This is the most recent, yes. We haven't proposed this before that I'm aware of, no.
Now, how long will this kit last, or is there like a annual fee or anything?
The subscription is $1,500 a year. The updates are part of that subscription, and that's for the new and incoming vehicles per year. So that also includes the, I don't know, was the training involved in that?
The training is not involved in that, no.
Okay. So, like, I'm really excited that this has come about because I'm actually learning a lot here. I really think it's needed. So I'm just hoping that, you know, if we move forward with this, it continues, you know, so that's what I'm trying to get at.
The usage actually will be picked up because, again, like Sergeant Carson said, we had to call an OSP or Canton to come take this data retrieval. Right. But we can certainly use it more than just on non-fatal crashes, so it's going to be used significantly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, having it in-house allows us more freedoms to exercise it with other crashes that we may or may not have normally called for. Just as a for instance, two of the cables, one for Tesla and one for Hyundai Kia, there's only one set of cables in the state of Ohio, and they're based out of OSP Post in Toledo, Ohio. So the turnaround for us to call them and have them arrive and, you know, come down here to do a download for us typically is anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, at which point, you know, that's evidence that's sitting, you know, at one of our facilities and could potentially be damaged. This system also integrates into a recently purchased reconstruction software that we've received. It's called Virtual Crash, and we're able to basically take this information and plug it in, and what it'll do is it'll help animate for jurors basically a crash and, you know, what the vehicle did and the dynamics behind it. And it measures everything. It measures G-forces, it measures lateral stability, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, well, real quick. No, Sergeant, thank you, and Captain. I'm totally on board. I'm really amazed. I'm actually going to look and see if I can learn more about it online, but just keep us posted. Yeah. I'm sure we're going to be fully in support of it today, and just keep me posted. I want to make sure that we have these tools. So, thanks.
Thank you, Councilman. Are any other questions from any other committee members or council members? Councilwoman Amobian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Kamer, for your questions as well. I'm just curious because I was just reading about this. So if you have a very serious accident where you're not really sure who is responsible for doing what or how things happen, this will does some kind of way of recreating the accident so you can see what happened, or just, I don't know, just tell me what it actually would do.
Yeah, so it actually, everything that we do is based on physics and math. We do, like, my guys are, we're all nerds. We like to do the math stuff. We like to figure out, you know, determining speeds by how far, you know, a vehicle flies in the air or a person flies in the air off of a motorcycle, for instance, you know, how long skid marks are, and we're able to tell you how fast the vehicle is going. This helps us and ensures that, like, first off, it double checks our math. it allows us the information that that we're providing is accurate, but also the stuff that we can't figure out, the human factor, for instance, steering wheel inputs and things of that nature. Just as a for instance, and like I said, this report, you guys can absolutely look at it. This report showing a vehicle, prior to an impact was traveling at, where'd it go, 106 miles an hour. And this was one in the city of Akron. This had been adjudicated. So it's already finished. The speed was 5 seconds prior to the crash was 103 miles an hour. It shows the throttle was at 70% pushed down, so they were on the gas pedal. Their RPMs, it tells us their service brakes, and then I'm sorry, 70% was the engine throttle. The accelerators pushed down 41%. But with that, it gives us tells us that their cruise control wasn't on, they weren't wearing their seat belts, the steering wheel percentage or degree that the steering wheel was at. So it's actually, it solves a lot of problems in allowing us to see if somebody's correcting or overcorrecting when they lose lateral or side stability on their car, going around a curve, for instance, and things of that nature.
No, thank you very much for all of that information.
Sure.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions or comments? What's the time frame on this? I'm assuming being the end of the year.
We can wait on this one, sir. There's no time crunch on it.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules with a favorable report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for suspension of the rules. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in today. We have nothing further to come before public safety. We will be adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to begin the Budget and Finance Committee. Those committee members are Lombardo, Amobian, Fusco, Boyes, and Bolden. We do have all committee members present whenever you're ready, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Clerk Bibiano. Can I get a motion to approve last week's meeting minutes? Motion, is there a second? And a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Very good. Okay, we have one piece on time and one new piece. So the first, we'll go for our piece of legislation that was on time, and it's an ordinance amending ordinance number 107-2025, passed March 31st, 2025, which established the annual appropriation for the current expenses, other expenses, and the capital outlays of the City of Akron for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
I do want to bring to the committee's attention that there is a substitute offered as an amendment for this piece. You'll find it as item number 0 under new legislation. If you're using your iPad, please remember to press that reload button to see the new documents. Thank you.
I have it. So, and I'll read the item 0 then.
Would you like me to read that in, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, I have it. It's the same thing, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's a substitute offered as an amendment, an ordinance amending ordinance number 107-2025, passed March 31st, 2025, which established the annual appropriation for the current expenses, other expenditures, and the capital outlays of the City of Akron for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
And we have Mr. Wheeler here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we are offering this substitute as part of our budget amendment for the year, primarily due to the reasons we've talked about for the past 2 weeks, where now that we have an idea of how the cost of living increases are taking hold, and with the retro payments that are looking at both the overtime and longevity, this reflects the amount that we believe is feasible that we need to get through the year due to the higher cost of living increases than we anticipated. There's a few other smaller pieces in here. In Section 2 in the general fund, we're also amending for additional subsidy transfers for the EMS fund from the general fund into the fire department. For the special assessment fund, we are we had issued a little bit more debt service in the form of a note that we have to pay that we are going to be asking for $350,000. We mentioned this previously. There is one additional payment in Section 13 for about $50,000 for Amplify to cover the final implementation costs of the Tyler Odyssey project for the clerk of courts and the judges. And then finally, on the last page, we are asking for an additional $1 million in the liability self-insurance fund. That's where we pay our medical mutual contract out of, and there was some higher than anticipated claims that have come on over the past few weeks. So we are just projecting that out and asking that we have a little bit of room to make sure we pay all the claims in a timely manner.
Very good. Very good. Is there any questions from any committee members or any other council members? No questions. So this is the second time. Do we want to
I
get
believe
this passed?
we would need suspension of the rules
Yeah.
tonight.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules with a favorable report?
So
Motion
moved.
to suspend the rules, okay, second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it.
No other items coming before us, so this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Our next committee today will be the Housing and Neighborhood Assistance Committee meeting, and it will begin at 3:30. Those committee members are Fusco, McKittrick, Connor, Garrett, and Wilson. Again, that's the Housing and Neighborhood Assistance Committee, and it will begin at 3:30. Thank you.
You ready, Sarah Biviano? Okay, very good. We'll begin the Housing Committee of Akron City Council. Roll call, please.
Fusco.
Aye.
McKittrick.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Garrett.
Present.
Wilson.
Present.
All committee members are present.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion. We accept the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against? Very good. The ayes have it. We'll carry on. So we do have a substitute. I don't know if all the committee members had noted. There's a substitute. Sarah Biviano, could you please read that in? Thank you.
Sure. This is a substitute offered as an amendment. It's an ordinance amending and/or supplementing Title 15 Land Use, Chapter 150 Environmental Health Housing Code, Sections 150.05 Hearings, 150.051 Repair, Vacation, and Demolition Procedure, Remedy of City for Noncompliance, 150.201 Entering a Condemned Dwelling, 150.30 Registration Required, 150.40 Rental Unit Mandatory Inspection Required, and 150.99 Penalty of the codified ordinances of the City of Akron and declaring an emergency. This was emailed out by Summer Owen, our deputy clerk, and if you're using the portal, you'll want to press that reload button. You'll see the new document. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk. Is there any comments from the administration? Mr. Lash?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Council. We actually took your comments and some of your concerns into consideration, immediately went back, talked with our partners in law, and they've submitted that amendment or that substitute. Hopefully that satisfies the concern. And Dwayne can speak and we can answer any questions that you may have, any of you may have.
Yes, Mr. Greger, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Just wanted to make clear, we never want to give anyone the impression that we're cutting the public out of any of our processes. When we have Housing Appeals Board hearings, vacant building hearings, most often it's the city presenting a case against a property with only the property owner here.
Mm-hmm.
When citizens show up to testify at the Housing Appeals Board or the Vacant Commercial Board, we go out of our way to thank them. The board members are citizens themselves. You can go through our recordings of our meetings. They regularly thank the citizens for coming down. Their input is invaluable to us. They're the ones that are living next door to these dilapidated properties. They're the ones that can tell us, how long has it been vacant? Do you see people going in and out? It's vital that we get that input. So it was really an easy move to take that out of there.
All right. Thank you so much for all the work you both do. Certainly appreciate it. So with that, is there any questions or comments from any committee members? Fran Wilson?
Just real quick, just triple checking, the only thing that was amended from my understanding is just re-putting back in that sentence in subsection C with the citizen complainant, right? Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Further questions from any committee members?
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Garrett.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. As it speaks to the level of integrity, I don't think it gets any better than Mr. Lash and Mr. Dwayne. I accept their position as to what was taking place. I feel like our constituents are so much better served with these two gentlemen at the helm, and I'm fully supportive of their most recent correction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Councilman.
Garrett. Further questions or comments? Thank you all. I'd like to entertain a motion for suspension of the rules of the favorable report.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? The ayes have it. Thank you both for everything you do. Appreciate working with us on this, as well as the law department across the street there. We're going to get this done tonight. This evening, during planning committee meeting of council, I'll pull the committee with regards to the substitute that's going to come in. They'll have the same, strike out that language or whatever, or remove the strike. So, thank you. With that, we're adjourned.
That is our final committee meeting of the day. Council will meet in regular session at 6:30. Thank you.